News. Up next, it's time for Truth or Fake. Marchand Abreu is here in studio. Catalina, in tonight's edition, you're taking us to Gaza and reports that 377,000 people are missing there. That's based on a Harvard report, allegedly, according to figures circulating online. Tell us more.
377,000 people missing in Gaza. Well, that is according to this visual being widely shared by many users on social media, including political figures and media who claim to be relying on an alleged Harvard University study. Example number one, the Palestinian ambassador to the Ivory Coast, who posts a Harvard report, reveals that 377,000 people are missing in Gaza, presumably dead under the rubble. This figure is based on Israeli military data. This figure has also been shared by some media outlets, including the Middle East Monitor on X, claiming a new Harvard report revealed that 377,000 Palestinians are missing in Gaza. As well, a visual being shared here in France, shared here by hard left politician Rima Hassan on Instagram, also claiming this number since October 2023, according to Israeli data. And the most viral post yet, this post from a pro-Palestinian account viewed over 1.5 million times on X. All examples claiming that these numbers, this estimate, the 377,000 missing Gazans, come from either a Harvard study and or according to Israeli data.
And Catalina, does this so-called Harvard study actually exist?
Well, users referring to a Harvard study are actually sharing fake claims. In reality, Harvard University has not even conducted a study that has even led to these results. These numbers were actually based off a study published via a Harvard-linked institution called the Harvard Dataverse, which is a digital repository managed by Harvard University, where researchers can share their publications. Moreover, this study was conducted and shared by Israeli researcher Yaakov Garb, who works at Israel's Ben Gurion University of the Negev, and not by anyone working at Harvard University. And you can find his study published on June 3rd, 2025 on the Harvard Dataverse, a study analyzing the Israeli-American aid distribution compounds in Gaza, not the missing people in Gaza, per the fake claims.
And so where then, finally, Catalina, does that figure come from, the 377,000 missing Gazans?
Well, as for the 377 missing Gazans, people missing in Gaza, the viral statistic in question is extremely misleading and actually incorrect, and as we established, doesn't even come from a Harvard-led study. So the number is actually based off a miscalculation of the original study published by Medium Platform, or a blog from June 10th, titled "The Grim Arithmetic IDF Data Reveals 377 Palestinians Unaccounted For." In part 2 of this blog, the author writes that based off the Israeli researcher's study, he came up with, therefore, what he says is an unspoken number. Gaza's missing 377,000. The numbers based off this map that's from the study that shows the 3 population clusters in Gaza, Gaza City, Central Gaza, and Al-Mawasi, where there are 1 million people residing in Gaza City, 500,000 in Al-Mawasi, and 350,000 in the center of the Strip, per the cited Israeli military's latest estimations, which totals to 1.85 million people in these 3 clusters, whereas before the conflict, the entire population of the Gaza Strip was approximately 2,227 million people. So the author of the blog did what he says was simple arithmetic, joining these 2 estimates that he says reveals a horrifying gap. 2,227 minus the 1.85 million, which leaves the 377,000 Gazans unaccounted for, allegedly. Well, wrong. These numbers are completely misleading, since Gaza's total population is not limited to these 3 cluster zones per these calculations. So we can say with complete certainty that 377 missing Gazans is a fake estimate being shared online based on erroneous calculations published in the mentioned blog. Calculations that are even more misleading after our editorial team contacted the Israeli researcher Yaakov Garb, who, upon double checking the numbers in his map versus the IDF estimates, he realized that there was actually a typo in the study. The actual estimate is 700,000 Palestinians in the Al-Mawasi area, not 500,000 per what's published in his report. So, what's the actual missing population in Gaza, you may ask? Per the latest numbers released by the UN on April 20th, 2025, local reports from the Gaza Strip indicate that more than 11,000 people remain missing since the outbreak of the war on October 7th, 2023. Among them are individuals believed to have died under the rubble or whose fates remain unknown to this day.
Carolina, thanks so much for that. That's Carolina there with tonight's Truth or Fake. Do stay with us. We'll be right back with more world news.